Good evening. I would like to call to order the Tuesday, January 11th, 2022 HRA Authority meeting. First item of business is call to order. Myra, will you take the roll call, please?
Commissioner Lewis.
Here.
Commissioner Hoogheem.
Here.
Commissioner Thorson.
Here.
Commissioner Coulter.
Present.
Let the record show that 4 members are present. There is a quorum.
Thank you. Our next item of business is approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Was that?
Commissioner Hoogheem.
All right, so it was moved, motion by Commissioner, I'm sorry, who did make the motion? I just didn't catch, oh, okay. Excuse me.
Motion by Coulter, second by Hoogheem.
Thank you. I was just got a little out of place here. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, can we have the roll call vote to approve the agenda?
Commissioner Lewis.
Aye.
Commissioner Hoogheem.
Aye.
Commissioner Thorson.
Aye.
Commissioner Coulter.
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 3, approval of the minutes of December 14th, 2021. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the December 14th, 2021 minutes? Yes.
Chair Lewis.
Yes.
Nathan has a Commissioner.
Yes,
Coulter
I
has
see
a
that.
question.
Commissioner Coulter?
Thank you. Not a question. I just wanted to note for the record that since I was not an HRA member at this meeting, I will be abstaining from this vote since I was not a member.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Coulter. All right. Is there a motion from the members that were present to approve the December 14th, 2021 minutes?
So moved. Thorson.
Thorson? Second?
Commissioner Hoogheem, second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Thorson with a second by Commissioner Hoogheem to approve the December 14th, 2021 HRA Board meeting minutes. May we have the roll call vote, please?
Lewis.
Aye.
Hoogheem.
Aye.
Thorson.
Aye.
And Coulter abstained. The motion passed 3-0 with 1 abstention. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on now to item 4.1, election of temporary HRA Board Vice Chair. May we have the staff report? I'm not sure quite how we'll handle this tonight. Can I have the staff report?
Thank you, Chair Lewis, Erica Coleman. With the resignation of Commissioner Olson, the seat of Vice Chair is currently vacant. So the HRA Board should designate a temporary Vice Chair until the board elections that are slated for January 25th. And this is at the advice of General Counsel for the HRA. And so how you would handle that this evening is you would be able to ask anyone that is eligible, are they interested to hold the seat? And then the members would need to vote for a temporary vice chair.
All right. Thank you, Administrator Coleman. Would anyone be interested, I will just kind of open it up now, would anybody be interested as serving vice chair until our formal elections? Since Commissioner Hoogheem is currently our treasurer, I think that's going to kind of leave it open for Commissioner Thorson and Commissioner Coulter. Would either one of you want to serve as co-chair? Yes, Administrator Coleman. Did you have your hand up at all? Commissioner Coleman, did you have a question? or not Commissioner, I'm sorry, Administrator Coleman. I'm not,
Our secretary?
Uh,
Thank
Your
you, Chair
sound-
Lewis. Can you hear me?
yes,
Yes.
I can hear you now.
Okay. Commissioner Huheem is our
Or
secretary.
secretary, I'm sorry, she's the secretary.
And between Commissioner Huheem and Commissioner Thorson, we don't have laws that I know of, but I know that if
Okay,
the council members are not able to
okay, not serve as
leadership
an
position on
officer.
the
All right.
HRA board.
So,
Chair Lewis,
yes, Commissioner Thorson.
I believe there is a precedent for a person holding two offices. I'll go on the record as saying I am not interested in the position of vice
All right.
chair.
And
And I believe we have a precedent.
okay, and I do remember, I believe I held that for a short time. So Commissioner Hukim, would you be interested in also serving as vice chair?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I will serve as Vice
Thank
Chair
you.
temporarily.
All right, so I would be looking for a motion to appoint Commissioner Hukim as our vice chair, our temporary vice chair.
Coulter?
All right, thank you, Commissioner Coulter. Is there a second? Commissioner Thorson?
Second, Thorson.
Thank you. It has been moved by Commissioner Coulter with a second by Commissioner Thorson to appoint Vicky Hukim as temporary vice chair of the HRA until elections at the annual meeting. I don't know, it doesn't look like we're going to need the second possible motion. So is there any discussion on this motion before we take it to a vote? Hearing none. Myra, can you do the roll call vote, please?
Lewis,
Aye.
Huheem,
Aye.
Thorson,
Aye.
Coulter.
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0.
Thank you. Moving on to item 4.2, delegation of HRA electronic funds transfer designee. May we have the staff report, please? I think Administrator Coleman, we're having a little bit of trouble with the sound.
Thank you, Chair Lewis. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Thank you.
Thank you. So every year we designate or approve designation of the HRA electronic funds transfer. And so this is for the 2022 year to meet the following provisions for electronic funds transfer per Minnesota statute. That the governing body on an annual basis will delegate the HRA administrator as the designee to make EFTs. 2, the disbursing bank of the Bloomington HRA will keep on file the certified copy of the delegation of authority. 3, the authorized persons initiating the electronic funds transfer are the following as approved through the staff services contract. As you can see, it is the city finance, so the CFO, the finance manager, an assistant finance manager, 2 accountants, and the information systems analyst. 4, all electronic funds transfers have proper approvals and supporting documentation as required as required of all city and HRA disbursements. Myra, will you please scroll down a little bit? Thank you. 5, written confirmation of all transactions must be made with 1 business day after transaction. And 6, city council notifications of all disbursements types are governed by the city charter section 2.52. And so I am just looking for a motion to approve this information, the HRA electronic funds transfer designation for calendar year 2022.
Thank you, Administrator Coleman. Are there any questions from Administrator Coleman? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the HRA electronic funds transfer designation for calendar year 2022?
So moved. Commissioner Hukim.
Thank you. Is there a second, please?
Second, Coulter.
Second.
Okay, second Coulter, thank you. It has been moved by Commissioner Hukim with a second by Commissioner Coulter to approve the HRA electronic funds transfer designation for calendar year 2022. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Myra, can we have the roll call vote, please?
Lewis,
Aye.
Hukim,
Aye.
Thorson,
Aye.
Coulter.
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0.
Thank you. Our next item is number 4.3, 2022 HRA Work Plan Amendment. May we have the staff report, please?
Thank you, Chair Lewis. Erica Coleman. So the HRA 2022 work plan was approved by the board in December of 2021. However, just the oversight of mine, it just was on the list, but it didn't make it onto the actual work plan, is the prioritization and the commercial node study. This is something that the HRA board has identified as a priority, actually for the last few years, and it was definitely included on the 2021 work plan. And so I'm just bringing this amendment back for the 2022 work plan to make sure that it is in alignment on our work plan, approved by the HRA board, as well as it is on the planning's work plan. So just making sure that we're consistent across the board in our communication and information. So just looking for a motion to approve the amendment, which is adding the commercial node study. Thank you.
Thank you, Administrator Coleman. Are there any questions for Administrator Coleman? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the 2022 HRA work plan as amended?
Move to approve the amendment. Thorson.
Thorson, thank you. Is there a second?
Commissioner Hukim seconds.
Thank you. It has been moved by Commissioner Thorson with a second by Commissioner Hukim to approve the 2022 HRA work plan as amended. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, may we have the roll call vote, please?
Lewis,
Aye.
Hukim,
Aye.
Thorson,
Aye.
Coulter.
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0.
Thank you. All right, moving on to unfinished business. Item 5.1, new business, the DEED CDBG CV grant agreement. May we have the staff report, please?
Good evening, Chair Lewis, Commissioners. Brian Hartman, HRA Program Manager, bringing forward this item. As you may remember from last year, the city, in partnership with the Housing Authority, the HRA, applied for grant funds through the State of Minnesota Department of Economic and Employment and Economic Development, DEED for short. And these were special funds that the state had received from HUD through the Community Development Block Grant Program for the coronavirus response. So typically, we as an entitlement CDBG community are ineligible to apply for state CDBG funds, but Congress made an exception and we were able to apply for these grant funds, which we did, and we were successful in that application. So now we are going through the process of approvals with the state to secure that funding, one of which is the grant agreement that you see before you in your packet, and also the associated documents that we'll need to execute. So we're looking for approval this evening of the grant agreement and the related documents to be authorizing the HRA administrator to sign those and forward to the City Council for approval. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Hartman. Are there any questions for Mr. Hartman? Seeing that there are no questions, do I hear a motion to approve?
Commissioner Hukim, excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Hukim.
Thank you, Chair. I don't really have a question. I just wanted to say I want to thank staff for their work on this. I think this is great. This is exactly, what we need right now, and it just makes me feel good knowing that we're going to be able to help people, and we're going to help people with the emergency rental assistance as COVID is still, as we can see as we're virtual, a big contributor to the needs of people right now. So I just want to commend staff on the hard work in getting this approved. It's really exciting. I was really excited to see that this was approved and came through. So thank you for that hard work.
Thank you for your comments, Commissioner Hukim. Now I would be looking for a motion to approve the resolution approving and supporting the contract agreement for the Community Development Block Grant Coronavirus CDBG-CV grant between the City of Bloomington and the State of Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development, and to forward to the City Council with a recommendation of approval of the agreement.
Commissioner Hukim makes that motion.
Thank you. Is there a
Second,
motion?
Coulter.
Or is there a second?
Second, Coulter.
Thank you. It has been moved by Commissioner Hukim with a second by Commissioner Coulter to approve the resolution approving and supporting the contract agreement for the Community Block Grant Coronavirus Grant between the City of Bloomington and the State of Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development, and to forward to the City Council with a recommendation of approval of the agreement. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, may we have the roll call vote, please?
Lewis,
Aye.
Hukim,
Aye.
Thorson,
Aye.
Coulter.
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0.
Thank you. Moving on to item 6.1, these are discussion items. 6.1 is upcoming items. May we have the staff report, please?
Just for clarification, the numbering was redone, so it is actually 7.1 if you're looking at Granicus right now.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair Lewis. So January 25th, I'm proposing that this be the annual meeting for the HRA, where we will continue to take care of organizational business for the year, as well as election of HRA board officers. So this would be Tuesday, January 25th. We would also, I still have on here, consideration and logistics for an HRA board retreat first quarter of 2022. This would be a special meeting, and it may be held virtually just due to the time that we're in. Excuse me. The home improvement fair has been canceled due to the ongoing global pandemic. So it was set for Saturday, February 26, 2022. It is a biennial event. And so the next home improvement fair would be in February of 2024. Fingers crossed that we won't have any events by that time that will prohibit us from continuing with business as usual. July 2022, proposing most likely a concurrent meeting that would be with the HRA, Planning Commission, and City Council. This is tentative, as this is around the time for the update for the Opportunity Housing Ordinance that needs to go forward. And so instead of that going at 3 different meetings, would be looking at doing a concurrent study session to bring that information forward. I also want to add that we did approve the 2022 calendar in December of 2021. However, the primary election is August 9th, and that's the second Tuesday of the month. And the general election is in November, which is also the second Tuesday. So I'm just bringing it up now. We can discuss it at the annual meeting. It's a little ways out. We could, according to Minnesota statute, we are not allowed to conduct meetings between 6 and 8 p.m. And so we could look at different options. This is typical, but look at different options. Either hold our meetings earlier if we need to hold a meeting, or not hold a meeting at all, or move the meeting to another date. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of that and that's on the record. And then lastly, a memo was sent to Mayor Bussey asking him to appoint a 5th commissioner. There was a commissioner that Mayor Bussey did appoint. However, they moved out of the Bloomington jurisdiction, so they are no longer eligible to serve on the HRA board. And since this is a mayoral appointment, Mayor Bussey will need to make that appointment. So I just want to let you know as to why we have 4 commissioners and what has happened there. But a memo was already sent to the mayor, and so we'll wait for him to make an appointment, which is up to him who that would be, to complete the term that was vacated by Commissioner Olson. So this would be finishing that term from whenever they are appointed through December 31st, 2024. With that, I can stand for any questions or discussion for anything that I brought forward today.
All right. Are there any?
Chair Lewis.
Yes, Commissioner Thorson. You've gone silent, Commissioner Thorson.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question about the home improvement fair. And I certainly understand the reasons for canceling it. And unfortunately, we're now 2 years into this. And I'd like to think it's not going to last forever. I'm wondering if there was any consideration of not necessarily stating that the next one will be 2 years from now, but rather being open, should there be great improvement in the pandemic situation, in consideration of having it 1 year away. I know it's a biannual meeting, but I don't quite know why we couldn't kind of go off the year a bit and necessarily stick with a schedule. It's been a very, very popular. I think it's a great opportunity to is what the HRA does and what the city in general does, because there's so many other departments that participate. And I would also add that in the past, council have suggested to me, and I think to others, we should really do this every year. So not suggesting we go every year, but I'm wondering if any consideration could be given to at least giving it some time and seeing if it's possible that we can hold this in 2020, what would it be, 2023 instead of 24. Again, very popular program with the residents.
Thank you, Chair Lewis, Commissioner Thorson. Discussion and thought has been given to it. The Home Improvement Fair is a biennial event and it's extremely popular, and there are other jurisdictions and cities that have actually built off of what Bloomington, the HRA has done here. So yes, a lot of conversation has happened. There has also been a lot of conversation about this is a home improvement fair, and that there may be opportunities to look at other types of fairs that also center around homes and housing that may be possible. So right now, with the planning committee and everything that everyone is working on, it's just been discussion at this point. And just notice to people that it was, because it's a biennial event, that it would be 2 years, but that does not preclude another event from happening if we can make that work. So yes, just so you know, Commissioner Thorson, there has been much discussion about this very popular event and what it offers for our residents and community members of Bloomington, and how we could adjust and see what we can do moving forward in 2023 and then beyond.
Thank you, Administrator Coleman. Does that answer your question, Commissioner Thorson?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for Administrator Coleman? Yes, Commissioner Hoover.
Chair Lewis. Thank you, Chair. Just going back to with the memo that went to Mayor Bussey, do we have like a timeline? Is there any chance that a new commissioner could be appointed before our annual meeting? And does that create any issues or anything going forward? I mean, I wouldn't assume it would create any issues, but it would be kind of nice to have that person, you know, at the elections and all of that, and just kind of, you know, a part of the annual meeting. So I'm just curious if there's a chance that that can be done by that time, or if that's just rushing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Lewis. Commissioner Huhim, I'll have to follow back up with Mayor Bussey and the city manager on where they are at the memo, because the mayor would appoint at a city council meeting. So I would just have to follow back up.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for Administrator Coleman? Hearing none, we will move on to our item, and I'm assuming it's 7.2. And that's really the opportunity for commissioner questions or answers. Does any of the commissioners have anything they would like to bring up this evening? Yes, Commissioner Coulter.
I don't have any specific issues or anything or questions or anything. I really just wanted to say how glad I am to be back on the HRA. I obviously, as you all know, I served on the HRA a number of years ago, and I had to resign because literally my very last class in graduate school, it only met like 6 times, but they were all on Tuesday nights. And I thought, well, I really can't skip literally my last class ever. So that was why I had to resign from the HRA. But I'm really excited to be back. I'm excited to be working with all of you. And we just have some really exciting and interesting things coming up in terms of housing and redevelopment in Bloomington. And I'm really excited to work with my fellow commissioners and work with Brian again. And Eric, I haven't worked with you a ton yet, but I'm excited to work with you as well. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Commissioner Coulter. And
Welcome back.
Yeah, it's nice to have you
You're
back.
welcome.
Yeah. Are there any other comments or questions this evening from the commissioners? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved, Commissioner Hukim.
Yes, thank you. Is there a second, please?
Second, Coulter.
Thank you. It has been moved by Commissioner Hukim with a second by Commissioner Coulter to adjourn the January 11th, 2022 HRA Board meeting. May we have the roll call vote, please?
Lewis,
Aye.
Huhim,
Aye.
Thorson,
Aye.
Coulter.
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned at 6:28 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. I think this was
Thank you.
this is the fastest.